that these two Italian Carabinieri police officers, when somebody that the Italian authorities say was armed with a rifle, stopped them, forced them to kneel, that he was, they say, close to Israeli settler circles. He wasn't wearing a military uniform. Well, what we know is that these two Italian Carabinieri police officers were doing almost a reconnaissance mission prior to a diplomatic visit near Ramallah in the West Bank, when somebody that the Italian authorities say was armed with a rifle stopped them, forced them to kneel, that he was, they say, close to Israeli settler circles. He wasn't wearing a military uniform. And, obviously it would have been extremely scary. The car, the Italians say, the Israelis deny it, had diplomatic plates, that they had diplomatic accreditation themselves. So this would have been quite improper. Typically, you certainly would not ask two diplomatically accredited security officers to kneel in such a fashion. So the Italian authorities, I think quite understandably, have summoned the Israeli ambassador, Mr. Peled, and sought assurances that this wouldn't happen again, and made sure that their views were very well known. Look, at a broader level, this is all part of a system where Israel just does not respect international law, international norms. It's treating even those countries with whom it has a good relationship with contempt. And it is trying, above all, to stop anyone going into the West Bank. It's making it much harder, making it harder for diplomats, making it harder for journalists, making it harder for international aid agencies to work with Palestinians. And they do not want, quite clearly, international observers of any form to be seeing what they're doing in the West Bank, just as they've done in Palestine, in Gaza, the rest of Palestine, where, of course, they haven't allowed journalists into Gaza since October 2023, nor diplomats, nor human rights observers. And they are cracking down on any chance of humanitarian agencies, humanitarian workers getting in there as well. That's the real backdrop. It's that contempt of international norms. Well, the settler violence has reached record heights. The settlers have been attacking Palestinian communities, not in a random fashion, in a very strategic fashion. They identify those communities that they wish to move, to leave, largely to go and live in the larger Palestinian towns, to get off the land. And they've had the direct assistance of the Israeli army, who are frequently there when this happens, who provide additional security and backup. Now, I would argue that European powers have not done enough to pressure Israel to stop this, to stop these armed settlers taking more Palestinian lands and resources and using this sort of violence. So we have the failure to act means that Israel, its authorities, the settler movement see no consequences to keeping the same system. And until we impose meaningful sanctions, there have been some sanctions. For example, the United Kingdom has passed on a few settler groups, a number of individual settlers. Then I don't think this is going to change. There are one or two countries, such as Spain, who have taken action in regard to banning products and services from Israeli settlements, but far more needs to be done. It's more than time for Britain, for France, for Germany, for other leading European powers to take substantive action. And I think it should be a ban on all trade with settlements and further sanctioning on settler groups and settlers themselves.